Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here, and just going to make a quick video lesson going over recognizing resistance support levels and key areas and trend. So something we've gone over before, but definitely important, especially when the market's hot like this. Recognizing when it's absolutely failing to break down could lead to a monster squeeze, as we've seen with many plays like SIDU, AUVI recently. All these runners here just taking off, failing to break down. REV, another one, very nice. But back to where we were, was SIDU. So first I'm assessing any key levels on the daily chart. Really, and what we're looking for there is the last time there was any high volume, that's going to be an area of resistance, because back then there's going to be some bag holders, maybe some short sellers recognizing this as well. On top of bag holders, you'd expect this area to be a key area where if it doesn't get stuffed, it will take some time to break through. And here we are with SIDU gapping up through it, but really it came from the failure to really break down here. And as we see, this chart just usually fails, and now that it's failing to break down and do what shorts expect, it ends up pulling back. So what I'm also judging, not just key levels on the daily chart, I'm going to combine that with intraday levels. So at first here, I'm not having much to go off of, because all we got is this 2 area where it broke over, but it gapped up so much that I'd be very hesitant to get it while it's down at 2. So from there, we're just recognizing other key areas: whole dollar, half dollar areas, open price, VWAP. So once these areas fail to break down, here we are barely cracking right below open price on this day, and it couldn't do much. It comes right back. It shows that it failed to break down. And I know now in hindsight, but looking back, if I was in this area, excuse me, I'm recognizing this as a very solid bottom. Not only because it's up a lot, good sector and all that, but it hasn't touched that 250 area in hours. So now that I see it making higher lows on increasing volume, I have a good hunch that 250 is going to be a very key support level. And we make that higher low right there off 259 or so, and that's when volume really starts picking up and shorts start getting squeezed. But we're looking for simple indicators like that. Is it failing to break down? How long has it been since it's reclaimed to this price? Or how long has it been at that price and failed to really break down or break out? Because then the next day here, you get a push higher. But then, similar thing, but for topping action instead of bottoming, or resistance rather than support, you get a solid resistance right around 850s, 9ish, and it has a hard time really pushing past that price multiple times. And this whole day, it couldn't really break past 920. Now, if it were to come back and confirm this area, that would be a different story, because now we know that it hasn't broken that level all day. It's going to be a strong level of resistance, and that's really it. Shorts will get squeezed once it starts reclaiming. But that's looking at topping. But down here, different story. Let's check a different one out. REV, what do we got? Okay, we got a breakout here. Solid breakout. That's going to be the key area. It tapped the low 3s a couple times, couldn't really break it, but at the same time, failing to break down. So REV, when it comes back, gaps up, confirms this area. Let me get rid of these annotations. So we got the open price here. If you see how we're looking for these key areas, in this case, we have the daily chart and intraday lining up with key areas, key prices. So it makes things a little easier. I don't have to kind of guesstimate what's going to be a new level to go off of, as we did with SIDU, how it became 250. In this case, We're looking at this key area of 315. It's in between pre-market highs and day lows, but volume is increasing. So putting these other indicators with it, you get a good idea where the support is going to be. And here we are with another basing area. How many times could it not break? We'll call it the mid threes, because it's not an exact price. Like we've said, it's a zone. It doesn't have to be exactly. Here we are getting down to 334. But multiple times it tries to breaking down the 330s, the 350 area, VWAP. Can't do it at all. And then volume comes back, leading to another squeeze. So that's really kind of how I look at it. How long has it been holding a key area? How many times has it tried testing it and breaking below it, and it keeps coming back? Any key areas on the daily chart to keep in mind that might be affecting it intraday as well. That's kind of it. And then if that's not the case, if the daily chart, you might have the resistance being, I guess, ahead. It might be, what's a good example? Sorry, I didn't word that properly. I guess what is in between the ranges here, I guess we could see it differently because it confirms that 315 area. Once it holds here above that price, I guess it's slightly off from 315, but nonetheless, it's holding up. And what's the next resistance level? 5. So, and then you're getting that off the daily chart, off of the whole dollar, half dollar area, prices that we usually look at as resistance, getting just above, under 4.5, 5-ish. So yeah, that's kind of it. Hope I articulated that properly. I'll definitely go over this more in the future. But to simplify it, we're just looking at the key areas on the daily chart, seeing how that lines up intraday, and if that ends up being off of the price, too far up or below the intraday price, what it's doing, I'll start looking at open price, VWAP, pre-market highs, or just in general where it's failing to break down here. Here we're above the open price, we're below the pre-market highs, still basing though. Yeah, we'll just wrap it up there. Hope everyone had a great long weekend. I'll make another video lesson now going over the top plays for tomorrow. We'll just wrap this up. Hope everyone has a great one.